Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. This is Protomario, and today we are reviewing Zelda, A Link to the Past. This game was originally released pretty early in the game's life. And as you can see, the menu's pretty basic. I've got a game going here. But from here, I'm gonna go ahead and start a new game. So here we are. If you are only familiar with the original Nintendo version of the Legend of Zelda, you may possibly be missing a great gap in your history. If you've never played this and you've only played Ocarina of Time, you might be also missing a big gap in the story. In this story, a wizard known as Agamemnon, you know, his name starts with an A, and I really can't tell you anything else. Here we get our first item, a magic lantern. This game incorporated many new elements to the Zelda story while keeping the overhead view. As with many of the Super Nintendo versions of these games, they got a major graphics overhaul, and this one was no exception. As you can see, Link actually is detailed. You can actually see his character from both angles, and doing many different things. You can see his feet, his tunic, even the little lump on the back of his head. His animations are fluent, and it does not any longer look like he's sticking something out of his pants that he should not be sticking out in the game. Your father seems to have died, and I don't really know why. Why'd you jump down a well? Like, literally, why did you just jump down the well? Whatever. Eat it, eat it, eat it. I got your sword now, old man. So, you get this telepathic message saying that the princess is in serious danger and it's your job to escort her out. But why should you? I mean, you're no one famous at the time, you're just some kid. Kind of presumptuous of the princess, huh? To think you would save her? But hey, different game, different style. The controls are on point for this action-adventure puzzle-solving game. Definitely something needed. It does not feel like I'm playing on ice, and at any point in time you can save. However, saving will return you back to your house or a similar location, such as on top of Death Mountain. Without spoiling the story, pretty much you save the princess and you collect these 3 emeralds to get the Master Sword to ultimately destroy evil. But you seem to be a little bit too late as Agamemnon, or the wizard, the Dark Wizard. Alright, the Dark Wizard plunges the last princess, who is a descendant of the legendary old men who sealed her away, or sealed the evil away, and he unleashes the ultimate evil, which in turn you find out he's actually Ganon. Once you're done collecting these pendants, that occurs and you get plunged into a future reality where the Dark Wizard has taken over the land and plunged it into darkness with his evil wish. Controlling the Triforce, he has now the power of the Triforce of power. And once you confront him, he is defeated in the final tower and he rushes back to this castle in the future. When you find a way inside the castle, he turns to his true form as the giant pig we know him as, and he tries to destroy you. All the while, before you're doing all this, you have to collect 7 crystals, I believe. Maybe it's 8, but I'm not positive. 7 sounds more likely. Once you collect the 7 crystals and get many, many items, you are ready to take on the ultimate evil and save the princess from darkness. You're not just saving a princess, you're also saving a land. So you're gonna get laid, you're gonna be the hero of time, which also occurs in Ocarina of Time. Even though you might not be the same guy, you're still gonna get laid. So, save a princess, get laid. Don't save a princess, land stays in darkness, and you don't get laid. Because there's almost no chicks around when the land's plunged into darkness. And no one wants to give it up when the land's plunged into darkness. You go up to a chick and you say, "Hey girl, you're looking fine," and she's like, "Dude, have you seen it outside? I'm not having a kid." So she's not gonna give it up. So that's a problem. And Link here, Link's just a hound dog. He's ridiculous. He'll just walk into anyone's house, start smashing pots and taking stuff. Doesn't matter. As long as he can find Rupee, it's all he's about. So in this game, familiar things return, such as the boomerang, but you're not limited to about 8 items. You're limited to, I want to say, let's see here, 5 by 4, 20 items, I believe, as well as small little upgrades on your equipment in the bottom right screen. Remember, this game is available on WiiWare and is one of the most popular downloaded games that there is. There's probably a good reason for that. Don't just take my word for it, have a look at how many people download it. Do take note that if you're going to download this game along with other games for the Super Nintendo, you will need the classic controller to play them because the Wii does not have enough buttons. That is kind of a letdown, and I always thought that was just a marketing tool, but hey, you know, I'm just one guy. As you can see, here's a little mini-boss with a spike ball. The main bosses are much more difficult and require a bit of ingenuity to defeat. Your first bosses will be a set of protective knights, and your only way that you can defeat them is with a bow and arrow. I'll take this chest that is conveniently in this dungeon for no reason. Was there a toilet down here? Where did you go to the bathroom, princess? Was there even a cot? Like, there's no place to sleep or use the bathroom down here. Like, no place. Anywhere. Like, I can understand these pots over here, but, nothing in her cell. And just a table here. No chairs. No sitting. These guys never sat. So, with me not picking or slamming on the game at all, I'm just joking a little bit here. You rescue the princess, and it's your job to escort her out of the castle properly without her dying. Though this isn't such an advanced game that the princess can die, she pretty much is immune to damage. This is something you have to do as an integral to the story's progression. This knight is really blind because I just killed his friend right next to him, and he looks left, looks right, looks left, and he's like, hey, no one's here. This is an early game, and the AI may not be the most responsive, but it's definitely still a fun game to play. It is definitely challenging with the different bosses you can encounter. You will encounter a snake, 3 snakes at once, a set of knights, a giant masked evil demon scorpion, a giant eyeball. Let me think here. I haven't played this game in a while, so I'm trying to remember. You'll encounter the Dark Wizard twice, Ganon, I believe a demon in wolf's clothing. It'll be a princess, or it'll look like a princess, but it is not. What else? There's a few more I can't think of, so it'll give you a nice little surprise. Oh, a moth! A giant moth. It's a poison moth, too. It's not just some lame moth. It's a poison moth. And an ice skeleton, if I do believe I remember correctly. Can't think of the rest, but there are definitely some very epic bosses around here. And I'm getting lost inside the castle. You see, I get distracted and I get lost. I know exactly where I'm going now. I just forgot for a second. I'll just walk past these guys. Look at your tiny sword. Ah, they don't trust you with a real one, do they? I'll see you later, buddy. So as I said before, you don't have to be a Zelda fan to enjoy this game and play it. If you enjoy old-style Super Nintendo games, then this is definitely one that you might want to pick up. If you don't know your Zelda roots and you enjoy the Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, the Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, or anything similar to the Game Boy games on the Game Boy Advance, then this definitely would be a game you may enjoy. I am the Rat Slayer. I kill rats mercilessly. Even though they didn't do anything to me, I slaughter them with my sword. Ah, snakes! I don't like snakes. And yet, snakes are tougher than rats, apparently. Requiring 2 slashes to kill them. The hit detection system is definitely on point, and it is not difficult to kill an enemy in this game. The sound definitely sounds like Zelda, if you're familiar with Zelda. Several familiar tunes will come from this. Even if you've never played this game before, several familiar tunes from the newer series may come out and remind you of it. Sweet, I got a key. Just like that sound effect, it is very well renowned to be associated with Zelda. Oh my god, rats. Why are they holding so many rupees? I'm rich. I'm just killing rats in a dungeon. And that one in the middle is just tripping out. Ow. Ooh, lucky. I got it on the first kill. Bats and rats, very dangerous combination. Everyone knows that bats and rats are evil. As you can see, instead of guessing at each wall you're trying to hit and finding a secret passage, most walls are now actually cracked. And they give you some type of hint, as in to hit them, rather than making you guess on your own. Which is pretty nice. Oh no, all these snake bites got me on the ropes. That's okay, I'll just eat this floating heart that fell down, and I'll be fully healed. Nom nom nom. I know, shut up. And so, you escape with the princess, and are tasked out to get the 3 pendants to stave off the evil wizard by getting his master sword, if you actually read the font. So guys, this is Zelda, A Link to the Past. And if you enjoy any type of Zelda game or are new to the series, this is definitely a great place to start. Try it out. It comes in a disc on a GameCube, it comes in Super Nintendo form, and it is also a downloadable Wii content. This is Protomario, and I'm signing off.